All right, but anyway, speaking of this pandemic, okay, so I know I'm going off on the pandemic here, and I know a lot of people like they don't want to hear about the pandemic because they prefer to live in the little bubble magic land, right? But we have a serious problem. So I wanted to talk about this. So while the Joe Biden administration is pretending like there's no such thing as the pandemic, they have literally engaged in like Omicron denial. They were posting graphs saying that, oh, things are going down, we're all good, as the cases started to surge, right? They're forcing people to go back to work. The CDC has slashed its guidelines, completely eroded 100% of the public trust. No one trusts the CDC anymore, right? CEOs are telling you to come back to work even if you've got a 101 fever. The CDC is saying go to work and don't wear a mask even if you're testing positive. There are no tests that anyone can find, and anyone that can find them that cost money, right? Like, look at these numbers. I need you to understand. Look at these fucking numbers. Reminder, this was a dark winter. Does anyone, like, remember this? Remember this? There was a big lockdown. Remember that? Everyone, oh, the lockdown that only happened in like a couple states, like New York maybe. There was no lockdown in North Carolina. That's where I live. Right? There was no lockdown. Right? But remember this. This was a huge deal. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then remember when Biden got elected, the dark winter. Oh my God. There's a dark winter. Right? And then this is the Delta surge, right? Which, you know, not as bad as the dark winter. But then wait a second. Now we're in 1 million cases a day. Right? Now again, we're in this fucking scenario where the New York mayor is like, the safest place for kids to be is in schools. That's what the New York fucking city mayor, Eric fucking shitface motherfucking fuck cocksucker motherfucker Adams, is saying. He's forcing kids to go to school. Where I'm seeing reports all over the place where schools, as people are going to school and there's no teachers because they all called out sick. And where are the substitute teachers? Where's Peggy Hill, 1996 substitute teacher of the year? She's gone. Why? Because she's fucking dead. She died of fucking COVID. Right? So, like, and now we're seeing this fucking shit. Look at this fucking headline. This is from the New York fucking Times. This isn't like fucking stupid shit garbage. This is the New York fucking Times looking at this. Look, I need you to understand. This is the New York fucking Times, okay? That they're doing this. As more teachers unions push for remote schooling, parents worry, so do Democrats. They're both siding this fucking shit. They're both siding this fucking garbage. This fucking shit. Literally, kids in hospitals are at a record high in this pandemic, right? People are dying significantly more. The rate of infection at this point is just so much that, we're all gonna get sick now at this point. And I'm not saying that because I don't, I know people have been saying that we're all gonna get it, so let's do nothing. We're all gonna get it, so let's do you know how many fucking people are gonna die because of this? Do you have any immunocompromised people in your family? Do you have any disabled people in your family? What if you break your fucking leg and you're trying to go to an emergency situation, right, at an ER, and they can't fucking operate on you, and you die from sepsis because some stupid unvaccinated moron believed that God would protect him from the COVID, and they died, and they took up your fucking hospital bed, and you're bleeding out and fucking getting sepsis in the ER waiting room because you can't, like, seriously, does anyone, like, are we just fucking stupid? Are we dumb? Is this like a simulation? Are we in the fucking Matrix? What the hell is going on? There is no way this is real. Joe Biden's going up there, is like, we got record levels of job. We got liberals on Twitter are going, hashtag Biden boom, because the stock market's doing something. The stock market's not doing fucking jack all. 89%, I think, of stocks are held by the top 1%. So, like, what the fuck is going on? And then the New York Times, oh yes, I know all about the New York Times, right? They are both siding this. Oh yeah, parents are worrying. Any parent that's worried about this is fucking stupid. They don't care about their kids, and they should probably not have custody of their kids. I'm going to be honest with you. If you want your kid to go into in-person schooling, you should lose custody. I'm just being 100% honest, right? 100% honest. If you are forcing your kid to go to school in a fucking deadly pandemic, or if you're an anti-vaxxer or an anti-masker, you should not have custody of those kids, and you should go to jail. But that's a whole nother point, right? So again, like, there's this, like, just idea, right? Like, again, I want to cite Don't Look Up, the movie Don't Look Up, right? So when fucking, you know, Jennifer Lawrence and Leo DiCaprio go in there and talk to the president, Meryl Streep, right? You know, she's like, they're basically saying, okay, the comet's gonna hit us, we're all gonna die, we got about 6 months. And what's the president's response? We're gonna sit back and assess. That's what's going on here. Instead of fucking doing something, they are just gonna sit back and assess. Do you know anyone who's got COVID? Do you know anyone who's died of COVID? Because I do. A lot of my friends I know have gotten COVID, have gotten sick over the last couple of weeks. I know a couple people that have died from COVID. This is not like a made up fucking story that you're watching on Netflix. If you don't know someone who's died of COVID, guess what? You need to make some more fucking friends because you're a fucking antisocial loser. Okay? But again, I need you to understand, right? This is fucking ludicrous. This is ludicrous, folks. There are schools, big schools, with thousands and thousands and thousands of students where only like 50 students are going in because everyone's called out sick. There's no teachers and they're just sitting in the cafeteria with fucking like playing on their Game Boys or whatever. Now, again, I haven't even gotten to the article yet here, but this headline, as more teachers unions push for remote schooling, parents worry, so do Democrats. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What are they worried about? Why are they fucking... We should be worried about a fucking deadly pandemic that is killing people by the fucking thousands. We have 9/11s every single fucking day. We're having 9 fucking 11s. I don't understand what this fucking oh yeah, 9/11 every day. Literally, do you know what happened after 9/11? 3,000 Americans died, and we basically said, all right, we're never going to be able to fly comfortably ever again. That's gone. Right? 4th Amendment, gone. 8th Amendment, gone. Torture, great. Let's do torture. NSA, I love the NSA. Do you know what this country did after 3,000 fucking motherfuckers died in a goddamn tower? Some fucking, like, and these were rich people, like, you know, so maybe, like, well, middle class, let's be honest. But there were some rich people that died on that, right? But, like, again, think of all the people that have died in this pandemic. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. Let's kill more. This is the literal modern-day equivalent of sacrificing virgins in a volcano for the sake of the rain gods. Oh, shit, it hasn't rained in 6 days. Let's throw the fucking virgins in the volcano and then do the dance and then fucking, like, you know, whatever. And then, boom, the rain's gonna happen. That's the modern-day equivalent of this shit. Let's just sit back and assess. Maybe everything will be fine. Let's read this fucking article. Let's read this stupid-ass fucking garbage. This trash in my fucking ass. This is fucking shit on my goddamn shoes, okay? Few American cities have labor politics as fraught as Chicago's, where the nation's third largest school system shut down this week after teachers' union members refused to work in person, arguing the classrooms were unsafe amid the Omicron surge. But in a number of other places, the tenuous labor peace has allowed most schools to operate normally this year in danger of collapsing. The idea that we had schools open at all to begin with is fucking stupid. The idea that we never did a lockdown in this country is fucking stupid. The idea that universal N95 masking was never given to every American household via the USPS is fucking stupid. This whole goddamn fucking system of government that we're dealing with is fucking nonsense. It's garbage. This is like literally hell on earth. Do you understand what the fuck's going on? Like, do I sound crazy? Because if I sound crazy, then you're a fucking nutbag. Because I am just watching and reading the news. I'm going outside and seeing what's going on. I'm speaking to people that also live in the real world. I know people that have died. I know people that are sick right now that might die. I don't fucking know. It's fucking scary. This shit's fucking scary. If you're not scared, you're a lunatic. If you're not scared, then I want whatever drugs you're on because I don't want to be scared either. I need some fucking benzos at this point because I'm freaking the fuck out. Okay, now again, I'm also drinking a lot of coffee, so. Alright, so let's keep going. While not yet threatening to walk off the job, unions are back at negotiating tables, pushing in some cases for a return to remote learning. They frequently cite understaffing because of illness and shortages of rapid tests and medical-grade masks. Some teachers in a rearguard action have staged sick-outs. In Milwaukee, schools are remote until January 18th because of staffing issues, but the teachers' union president, Amy, doubts that situations will significantly improve and worries that the school board will resist extending online classes. I anticipate it'll be a fight. Oh, everyone's like, oh, we're not gonna, the kids are gonna die because they don't have in-person. You know what? Anyone that fucking, oh, the kids need to be in school. What do you think during summer break? Oh, their socialization is suffering. What about summer break? Why can't we just all take 2 months off, right? Everyone lock the fuck down. The government give us all money to stay home, give us food delivery, pharmaceutical delivery, help us the fuck out, and then kids won't have to take years of their lives going in and out of school, in and out of school. If we would have just solved this fucking shit from the jump, none of this would be happening. None of this would be fucking happening. Do you know the trauma that's going through these kids' minds, having to go to school knowing that they might fucking get a virus? They might be okay, but they might get long COVID. The rest of their lives are going to be shit, right? And they might kill their parents. Do you know that, like, literally hundreds of thousands of kids became orphans? And we're not even talking, like, we have kids whose parents died. Both parents died. They go to live with their grandparents. Then their grandparents die. Now, how many of those fucking situations involved, right? Maybe the kid going to school, getting COVID, then giving it to the parents, and then they die. Do you know the fucking guilt that that's going to have? Like, if a kid, like, even even if they don't know, even if the tracing isn't complete, but if the kid was going to school and then their parents caught COVID and died, do you know the fucking damage that that's going to do to these fucking kids? Hundreds of thousands of them. The last I saw was like 300 or 400,000 orphans in this fucking country. Orphans, right? That's fucking crazy. Is anyone talking about that? No. Am I talking about that? Yes. And people aren't listening. No one gives a fuck about what I'm saying. Do you know the trauma that's going on with these fucking people? Does anyone give a fuck? Does anyone give a fuck at all? Virtual learning fucking sucks, okay? For most people. But guess what? We don't need to do virtual learning if we just did a couple months of a lockdown, got the virus under control, vaccinated the population, and then went back when everything was fixed. Until we do that, we're going to be balancing in and out like ping pong, like fucking playing goddamn Pong on the goddamn Atari, and we're going to be fucking looking like baboons and fools and morons for the next couple of years because right-wing lunatics and Democrats also, which are right-wing lunatics, the Democratic Party is a far-right, lunatic, fringe, capitalist, almost like proto-fascist party, and the Republicans are just straight up neo-Nazis. Like, let's be honest. Like, okay, that's the world that we're dealing with. Everything fucking sucks. I've become a doomsday prepper because I think the end is coming. Because if the government isn't doing anything in this situation, what are they going to do? When are they going to do it? We're fucked, folks. They don't even care about kids. They don't care about teachers. What happened to the pro-life party? What happened to the pro-life party? They're embracing and endorsing mass death every day. 9/11 every day. That's the pro-life party now? The pro-life party. The neo-Nazi, Republican, douchebag, fascist morons are embracing 3,000, 4,000 deaths almost every single day? What the fuck? I think that Joe Biden and Miguel Cardona, the Secretary of Education, and the newly elected mayor of New York City and Lori Lightfoot, they can all declare that schools will be open. Ms. Mizalko added, referred to the U.S. education sector and the mayor of Chicago. But unless they have hundreds of thousands of people to step in for educators who are sick or uncontrolled surge, they won't be. Both sides. For many parents and teachers, the pandemic has become a slog of anxiety over the risk of infection, childcare crises, the tedium of school through a screen, and most of all, chronic instability. Again, all it takes is a couple months and we can go back. That's all it takes. Am I wrong to, at this point, feel zero sympathy for any anti-vaxxer or COVID denier? No. I would go even further. I celebrate when anti-vaxxers reach their demise. That, again, I'm going to be honest with you. If the world were slightly different, right? If I, I'm not, I celebrate. Let's just be, if you know me on a personal level, and we've, talked about this at all on a personal level, you know how gleeful I am. I get excited. I recently was introduced to a subreddit called the Herman Cain Award. Oh my god, it's amazing. Reading these stories of these goofballs dying gives me such intense pleasure, words cannot describe. Fuck them. And also, that goes for everyone in government who's a COVID denier. Joe Biden, the COVID denier. Remember, during the 2020 primaries, when Joe Biden and Simone Sanders, his press secretary in the primary, basically said COVID wasn't that bad of a problem. And when it comes to in-person lines for the primaries in Super Tuesday, March 15th, and then up until Wisconsin, right? They said, no big deal. Who cares? No one cares. There is no such thing as COVID. Whatever. Let's just get Bernie out of the primary. It's all good. And then as soon as Bernie dropped out of the primary, they were like, oh my God! Blah, blah, blah. They're all COVID deniers. They're fucking freak shows and their goddamn fucking aristocracy and their castle. They're all fucking losers. Every single fucking one of them. Everyone in the White House should be in jail. Everyone in Congress, probably besides maybe 10 people at most, should be in jail. All right, these motherfuckers are insane. They are crazy. They are religious fucking nutbags. Okay, I need you to understand. Every single person that isn't every single moment of every single day pressing for like $2,000, $5,000 monthly checks retroactive to March of 2020. These people are genocidal, eugenicist freaks, okay? Because and for Democrats, the revival of tensions over remote schooling is a distinctly unwelcome development. Because they have close ties to the unions, Democrats have close ties to the unions? Okay. Because they have close ties to the unions, Democrats are concerned that additional closures like those in Chicago could lead to a possible replay of the party's recent loss in Virginia's governor. That's all they fucking care about is getting elected. But guess what? They don't. They don't. Because guess what? If they cared about getting elected, they would do fucking something. They would give us more stimulus packages. Joe Biden's administration said no to a stimulus package. Flat out, no. Not maybe, not we'll see, not sit back and assess. The Joe Biden White House said no. There will be no more stimulus packages. Joe Manchin said, no, Build Back Better bill. So not only do they not give a fuck about being elected, but whenever people say, oh, why don't you do this? It's but the Republicans, what would he lose an election? Whenever someone wants something at all, it's what about the elections? We can't do that because of the elections. But they don't know that well, they do know, but they choose not to do this. That they, like, if they wanted to get elected, they would run on things that are popular. That's how you get elected in this fucking country. You run on giving things to people. Why else would we have people don't vote for people to just go up there and go, I want to vote for someone to watch on television. That's not how fucking politics should work. You vote for people to do work to give you fucking things with your tax money. That's what fucking politics is. What is it? Oh, well, we lost in Virginia, so therefore we can't do anything. Why did you lose in Virginia? Because you fucking suck dick. And the guy running against fucking the crazy lunatic CRT moron, the guy running against that guy was a fucking big bank fucking sellout loser moron who promised nothing to the people of Virginia because he didn't give a fuck, right? But again, when everyone, oh, well, why don't you do something about this? Can't do it because Republicans might win. If we do something that is extremely popular, what if a Republican wins? Sorry, can't do it. Polling showed the school disruptions were an important issue for swing voters who broke Republican. Again, school disruptions. How do you end school disruptions? Control the fucking pandemic. That's how you end school disruptions. That's how you end all of this. By controlling the fucking virus. How fucking dumb are these motherfuckers? This is the cult of capitalism, folks. We're sacrificing virgins in the volcanoes. It's a big deal in state polling we do, said Brian Stryker, a partner at the polling firm ALG, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Anyone who thinks this is a political problem that stops at the Chicago city line is kidding themselves. Look at this. Are they asking teachers? They're asking these fucking Democratic Party strategists and like one union leader. How about you ask anyone? How about you ask kids? How about you ask like a fucking 14-year-old how they're feeling? How about you ask the 300,000 orphans how they're feeling about school disruptions? How about you ask the fucking teachers who are out sick, potentially dying? How about you ask the spouses and the families of these teachers who have already died how they feel about this? Now let's ask some pollster for the Democratic Party. More than 1 million of the country's 50 million public school students were affected by district-wide shutdowns in the first week of January. That's depressing. The fact that 49 million are still going to school. Jesus Christ. Many of which were announced abruptly and triggered by a wave of frustration among parents. The kids are not the ones that are seriously ill, and by large... So every kid should just get long COVID. We're going to have an entire generation, folks. An entire generation that got long COVID as a kid. Do you think they're going to be okay with that? We already know that Gen Z is one of the most radical, most progressive left-wing generations that we've seen. We already know that Gen Z doesn't give a fuck. So we're going to force them all to get long COVID. You think that they're just going to sit by and go, oh, okay, my entire life has already been destroyed from the jump. I'm 15 years old and I've already got a debilitating disability for the rest of my life. You think they're just going to sit back and go, all right, that's cool. It's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. This is COVID denial. These people are fucking COVID deniers. The union's demands echo the ones that have made for nearly 2 years despite all that has changed. What does that mean, despite all that has changed? What? There are now vaccines, okay, which not everyone is taking, and so the point of a vaccine is to vaccinate the population to reach herd immunity. That didn't happen. right? And now the virus is mutating, right? So, okay. And the reassuring knowledge that in-school transmission of the virus has been limited. What? What? Who reads this? Oh, well, there's reassuring knowledge, and it's in blue. They made it blue. The reassuring knowledge is in blue. This is not reassuring knowledge. This is not, if you've ever been to school ever, you know that school ventilation is horrible. You know the kids don't follow the rules. You know the kids don't give a fuck. You know the teachers don't give a fuck. Oh, but there's reassuring knowledge, folks. I was worried until I saw that the New York Times told me that there was some reassuring knowledge. The Omicron variant, while highly contagious, appears to cause less severe illness than previous iterations of COVID. That's not true. There is literally nothing that suggests that. That is made up fantasy. This idea that Omicron is mild is made up. It is made the fuck up in whole cloth. Right? You want to know where this came from? This came from the fact that when the Omicron surge was initially starting, right, that the Delta variant was causing more deaths than the Omicron variant. Right, so the only thing that tells us is, one, Omicron is not as, throughout the population at that time as Delta was. Also, that Omicron is less severe than Delta. As Omicron, for all that we know of right now, is either as strong or more strong than the original wild type variant. And also, again, are we just ignoring the fact that about 1/3 of people that get COVID are going to develop a form of long COVID? It's made up. Don't look up, folks. Don't look up. Most district leaders and many educators say it is imperative for schools to remain open because they're fucking crazy. They're capitalist, Looney Tune, fucking stupid, savage morons. Religious zealots. Their religion, even if they're not Christian, their religion is the cult of capital. They will do anything and kill anyone and kill everything, even their kids. They don't care about their fucking kids. They will murder their own children for the sake of corporations and stock profits. That's all they give a fuck about, even if they don't even fucking benefit from them because they're fucking religious nutbags. They cite a large body of research showing that closures harm children academically and emotionally. Again! If we had a 2-month lockdown and then got the virus under control, then maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have to do remote learning every other... No, can't do it. Summer break, 2.5 to 3 months of vacation for kids, that's great. Doing that and then also locking everyone else the fuck down to control the virus in the meantime, can't do it. Can't do it. This is the New York Times. This is the New York Times. Do I even need to read the rest of this? Look at this. Look at the deaths. They're trailing upwards. Deaths are a lagging indicator. So January 7th, really, again, it's a 2-week thing here. So look, daily deaths for January 7th, 2025, right? So what were the cases about 2 weeks ago? So what was that? January 7th, so January 1st. Okay, so let's look at December 25th. Christmas, okay? Look at that. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, which deaths are a lagging indicator, right? So about 1 to 2 weeks later, people will die. They get sick, and then they get sicker, and then they get sicker, and then they get sicker, and then they die, okay? So now look at the cases. So that was when deaths right now, about 2 weeks ago, the cases were about 200K a day, right? Now, we're about 600, 800, we're about 1 million a day. That's about, what, 5 to 6 times increase? So, now again, if we assume that deaths are a lagging indicator, right, this number, theoretically, should go up significantly. Maybe not by 5 to 6 times, but it might double, it might triple, and if it triples, then my God... Again, if I fucking, break my leg, if I fall down the stairs and break my arm, and I go to the hospital, and I get fucking, you know, like my arm is broken, let's say, like, I don't know, I gashed it or something, and I get sepsis or gets infected or something while I'm waiting in the ER because some stupid fuck anti-vax Looney Tune took up an ICU bed. And then we're just ignoring the fact that this is going to cause debilitating disabilities for people for the rest of their lives. So again, honestly though, if it goes between having neurological problems, you know, not being able to walk properly for the rest of my life, you know, all these kinds of things versus dying, like, where's the metric on, is there a worldometer graph for long COVID cases? No, because no one cares about tracking that. The little info that we do track, people don't care about. But then there's all this other info that we're not even tracking that's probably significantly even more important that no one gives a fuck about. Don't look up, folks. Everything will be just fine.